Hi, everyone. When I think about my career, I recall the quote by Warren Spahn, the Hall of Fame baseball pitcher, when a reporter asked him about a home run ball he gave up. I'm not much of a baseball fan, but I like what he said. Gentlemen, for the first 60 feet, that was a hell of a pitch. I started in working for a Fortune 100 company in the public relations department, and 25 years later, I was the CEO of a 90-bed regional hospital, where my executive team and I were named top leadership team in healthcare for mid-sized hospitals. So we were named the best at what we did in the country, which was a great honor. And we did it by creating an engaged workforce who looked forward to coming to work, and not surprisingly, they took great care of patients who were very happy with the care they received. But after that, it all went downhill. In my next two CEO positions, I was either asked to resign or I had my contract terminated early. And I'm not going to talk about that. That was a while back. And other than to say, when things don't work out, I'll accept half the fault. So my wife gave me the best advice. She said, John, I don't think you should be a hospital leader anymore. I don't think it makes you happy. So I took a few months and I thought about it, and I decided she was right. And I also decided I didn't need anyone else to give me a job. I had the experience and the insight to take care of that myself. Now, fortunately, my wife and I, even though we put 3 kids through college, we had a decent retirement in the bank, we had savings in the bank, and thanks to the Affordable Care Act and the Veterans Administration, we both had affordable health care. So I still had the question, what am I going to do next? And my career had ended 5 years sooner than I expected. I still needed to generate some income. So I decided I had a couple requirements. The first is I only wanted to work part-time. I wanted to work from home. I didn't want to move again, and I wanted to do something that I loved. So failure is, as terrifying as it is, it's also very motivating, and it gives you great insight. And I realized that what I really loved was the art of writing. And writing and its power to influence people and get an emotion is very strong. So I started blogging at some sites. I was getting good feedback and response to what I was writing. I had an undergraduate degree in mass comm and journalism and a graduate degree in data analysis. I figured if I combined those two things, I could get paid to write. So I dusted off a novel that I had, Medical Necessity. I finished writing it. I published it through Amazon. And I primarily use it as a marketing tool. In fact, my most recent client I got, she was looking for a good storyteller, and so it helped me get that account. So I started my business, and in the second year I exceeded in my earnings goals. In my second year I doubled my income. By my 4th year I doubled my income again. And I'm now in my 7th year of owning my own business. And you know, some clients couldn't keep up with my rates, others were difficult to work with, and some were slow paying. And I learned to leave those clients behind, and when I need to now I go out and find another client. And when I want to take a day off, I don't ask anybody. I just take a holiday or a vacation, and I can do that. I also found out that I had some great creative insights and instincts. I turned my photography hobby into another business. I sell my fine arts prints here at a few local galleries, as well as glass sculptures that I make from old dump and homestead glass that I find. So I want you to remember 4 things. The first is failure can be a wonderful opportunity. And you know, your friends and family and anyone else, they don't want to hear about why you lost your job, or why you got fired, or why it didn't work out. But you know, they'll be very excited for you for your next adventure when you figure out what you want to do. And the second item I want you to remember is figure out what makes you happy. You know, I finally reached my goal of staying home and working in my pajamas, and I highly recommend that. Listen to your friends and family. They know things about you that you won't admit to yourself. And they are also a great source of referrals with your former colleagues. And finally, number 4 is take time to think. It really is wonderful to have that. You know, when you're working hard and you're raising a family, you don't always have that. And you know, Garrison Keillor put it best. He said, you know, if you woke up today and it was your last day, wouldn't you go out and buy a box of rockets and shoot them all off at the same time? And finally, be your own hero. You don't need anybody to take care of you when things get tough or things go wrong. You have the experience and the insight to do that yourself. My daughter, my youngest daughter, played soccer for several years on a travel team. One of the girls on her team, her father was Peruvian, and every game he was out there. You can do it, Leslie. And I always remembered that, and that became my mantra for myself. You can do it, John. So thank you for being here. I appreciate you and your time.